Aloha one, aloha all, Michael here. Today I'm going to talk about Homo sapiens. So, let's go ahead and get started. What I want to make absolutely clear is that while everything in the universe is sentient, only human beings can become sapient. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that we have the ability to pay attention, we have the ability to learn, we have the ability to grow and expand our awareness and our consciousness so that we can know when we are doing God's work. And when we use all of our sensations, our 5 basic senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, and our 3 spiritual senses of space, motion, and time, we combine all of those to become more sapient. So I know many highly sapient beings. And the greatest thing of all is that the best thing that we can do is know that God loves us all. And when we know that God loves us all, we can become even more sapient. When we understand what that means and how precious life is, we can know that only God knows all. And when we understand that, then we grow, we expand. When we listen, when we pay attention, when we observe reality from our own perspective, and then we alter our perceptual lens so that we can see the truth. So, Matthew 7:7 is ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be opened. When we understand the true meaning of that verse, my favorite verse of the entire Bible, it means that we're asking for information. When we ask for information, we're asking directly to the source of all information, which is God. When we seek the truth, we know that we can open the door of perception because we're using our senses. We're paying attention, we're listening, we're observing, and we're creating our own reality. So once we understand all of that, once we know that God loves all, what else is there to do? Can we be more sapient than we currently are being? Yes, absolutely. 100% correct. Once we understand that, and once we know that all is exactly the way it's meant to be, what do we do with that information? How do we become more? How do we become more aware of how we are feeling so that we can increase our level of consciousness to points of resonance that simply make sense? It's very simple, folks. Very, very simple. Life is simple. Life does not have to be complicated. Humans overcomplicate every single thing. Everything. And how do we do that? We do that by being judgmental. We predetermine the value of something before it actually occurs. So what does that mean? What are we doing? Are we becoming more aware? Are we realizing that everything matters? Everything that exists and has ever existed and will ever exist matters? Do all people matter? Absolutely. Do all beings matter? Absolutely. Do all things matter? Yes, 100% correct on all of those. Unless we predetermine the value of anything before it actually occurs. And that is what it means to be judgmental. When we listen, when we pay attention, we learn. We become more aware of everything that we are doing. And when we become more aware, we feel everything. And we are mindful to not overthink things, because when we do that, guess what happens? We run into obstacles. We become confused. We get deceived. We're being lied to by several entities. So, how do we expand? How do we grow? How do we know what is actually happening in the world? It's very simple. All we have to do is directly connect with God and ask the questions. There is no such thing as any question that is out of bounds or blasphemous or any of that stuff, because what we're doing with our reality is we are learning. All beings, all living organisms are organic synthesizers. If you are not an organic synthesizer, you are the opposite, a synthetic organizer. And that includes computers, artificial intelligence, everything that we have ever created that is inorganic. Simple. Life is so simple that even children know what to do. And how do they explore? How do they play? How do they know more than we realize or give them credit for? Well, we watch them play. When we watch little kids play and we observe and we listen and we understand what they're going through and we know that they are dealing with life on life's terms. They do not understand much of anything from a conscious level, but they feel everything. At the moment of conception, where you have the alpha and the omega, the sperm and the ovum, that Holy Communion is so special. It's beautiful. So with that, I'm going to leave you with one last word. Namaste.